English Language Bootcamp. Today it is the second day. Yesterday we all learned about phonic sounds. How can we pronounce each and every sound correctly? And today, as I told you, today we will learn about some tongue twisters as we had already done some of them in our last week's English challenge. But then this week also, I thought we will be continuing with little more of these tongue twisters because it will help you to improve your fluency. So when you practice phonics, your pronunciation increases, improves, and when you practice tongue twisters, your pronunciation as well as your fluency, both of these things improves, including the clearance of your speech. Some people do not have clear speech. Yes, so for people to talk clearly like crystal, we have brought tongue twisters for them. So let us not spend much time, and just let me share the screen. Yes. Yeah, so I hope my screen is visible to you, and as you can see, we have got some tongue twisters. And as I read them, I want you to listen to them carefully and practice it with me. So, the first tongue twister is I scream. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. So, whenever you are reading it for the first time, read it slowly. Then you can read it for 2 to 3 times, and after that, in the fourth time, you can read it little bit quicker. Yes, so let me read it again for you. It is I scream. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream, right? Then let me read it a little bit quicker for you. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. So just pay attention here. I'm not getting any kind of E sound before S. Yes, before the S sound. So if you are pronouncing it as I scream, please stop there and please just concentrate on this scream part only. Keep on practicing the S words and improve your pronunciation, right? Moving towards the next tongue twister, it is Peter Piper. Peter Piper. Yes, one thing you have to remember is whenever R is coming at the end of the word, the pronunciation of R, the sound of R goes little low. It is not that much harsh or that much loud, right? So it is Peter Piper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers that Peter Piper picked? Yes, and another thing I want you to tell is that whenever we have ed at the end of any word, we will not read it like this, picked. No, d sound should not be that much, it should go down. You make the sound as t rather than doing d, so it will be it will be sounding better. Yes, it is not picked, it is picked. So keep on practicing this. Peter Piper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers that Peter Piper picked? Yes. So as you keep on reading this tongue twisters, what will happen? Your tongue will twist sometimes in this side, sometimes that side, sometimes inside, sometimes outside, and in a way your fluency will increase and your speech is also going to improve. Coming to the third tongue twister, it is Betty Botter. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but she said, this bit of butter's bitter. But a bit of better butter mixed with this butter might just make my bit of bitter butter better. So Betty bought a bit of better butter to make her bitter butter better. Yes, so can you see so many bitter butter better? So it's like you can get confused and you can like pronounce wrong word. Yeah, so just see the words clearly and pronounce it clearly, pronounce the correct word. So if it is bitter, you cannot say it as better, right? Let me read it once again for you. Betty Botter. Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, but she said, this bit of butter's bitter. But a bit of better butter mixed with this butter might just make my bit of bitter butter better. So Betty bought a bit of better butter to make her bitter butter better. Yes. Then Susie Shine. Sorry, Susie Shine. Yeah, this is basically for those who has problem in S sound. Yeah, Susie Shine. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Where she shines, she sits, and where she sits, she shines. Yes, so you have to focus where it is sh and where it is simple s. So if there is sh, any word starting with sh, you should make a clear sh sound, sh. And if there is no sh, it is simple s, it will be simple s. So I will read this once again for you. Susie Shine. Yes, Susie Shine. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Where she shines, she sits, and where she sits, she shines. Our next tongue twister is with the letter W, woodchuck. Yes, it is woodchuck. So first of all, w sound will come. W. It is not oo. Oo sound will not come. Woodchuck. No. Woodchuck. Woodchuck. Yes. How much would a woodchuck chuck if the woodchuck could chuck wood? He would as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would, if a woodchuck could chuck wood. So remember, W here is making the sound of wa, not oo. Yes, so you have to make this wa sound while pronouncing these kind of word. So I will read it again for you. It is woodchuck. Woodchuck. How much would a woodchuck chuck if the woodchuck could chuck wood? He would as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would, if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Our next sound is the d sound, generally for them who pronounce the d sound a little bit not clearly. So here it is doctor, doctor. If one doctor doctors another doctor, then which doctor is doctoring the doctored doctor? So here our focus is both on D sound as well as the R sound. Yes. Does the doctor who doctors the doctor the doctor the way the doctor he is doctoring doctors? Or does he doctor the way the doctor who doctors doctor? Yes, let me read it once again for you. It is doctor, doctor. If one doctor doctors another doctor, then which doctor is doctoring the doctored doctor? Does the doctor who doctors the Doctor the way the doctor he is doctoring doctors. Or does he doctor the way the doctor who doctors doctor. Next we have th. So th makes a sound of th, right? So it is thought, not thought. This is thought, a thought. I thought a thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought I thought. If the thought I thought had been the thought I had, I wouldn't have thought so much. Yes. So let me read this once again for you. It is thought a thought. I thought a thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought I thought. If the thought I thought had been the thought I thought, I wouldn't have thought so much. Yes. So how can we read it a little bit quicker? Thought a thought. I thought a thought, but the thought I thought wasn't the thought I thought. If the thought I thought had been the thought I wouldn't have thought so much. Fuzzy wuzzy. Z. So Z makes a Z sound. Z, not J. So please refrain from reading it as fudgy wudgy. It is not fudgy wudgy. It is fuzzy wuzzy. Right? Fuzzy wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Yes? Let me read it once again for you. Fuzzy wuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Next we have got she sells. She sells. Again, for those who have problem in sir sound, sure and sir. Here we have sure and here we have sir. She sells. She sells. Yes. She sells seashells by the seashore. And the shells she sells by the seashore are seashells for sure. Yes, read it once again. She sells. She sells seashells by the seashore, and the shells she sells by the seashore are seashells for sure. Yes, so if you can't do it very fast, do it slowly, but keep in your mind to means take out the sounds clearly from your mouth. Yes, so if it is sh, it will make the sound of sh, and if it is only s, it will make the sound of normal s, right? So let me read it once again for you. She sells. She sells seashells by the seashore. And the shells she sells by the seashore are seashells for sure. Yeah. She sells. So whenever you are pronouncing sh, your tongue is pressing towards the upper part of your mouth. She sells. But the sa is very loose, so it is not pressing towards the upper part of your mouth, right? Then we have got the another tongue twister, which is all I want is a proper cup of coffee. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they are no use to me if I can't have if I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I will have a cup of tea. Yes? Let me read it once again for you. All I want is a proper cup of coffee. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be off my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots, they are no use to me if I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot, I will have a cup of tea. Yes. So every morning make it a habit of practicing tongue twisters. Just take read all of them, but I want you to practice each one of them at least 3 to 4 times. Yes, you have to read each and every of this tongue twisters for 4 times. Practice your fluency, make your speech clear, and then you can go to read something loudly. So remember, when we were small, our parents used to ask us to read loudly. Yes, and why they used to ask? So that we can read fluently, we can read clearly, and at the same point of time, if we are making any mistake, they can correct us as well. Yes. So after practicing tongue twisters, you can go to read some story, and whatever you are reading, please read it loudly. Another thing you have to remember while reading is this, that wherever there is comma, full stop, whichever this punctuation marks are there, you have to act accordingly. Act accordingly means, if it is a full stop, you have to pause uh, more than whatever you do for commas. So commas need a small pause, and full stop needs a little more pause. Yes, so that people should understand that this is the end of the sentence. Then if we have got question mark, it should sound like question. If there is any sentence which is inside these quotation marks, it should sound like a dialogue. So whenever somebody says something, at that point of time we put those dialogues inside these quotation marks. So whenever you are reading, remember that you have to read it in such a way so that people can understand, yes, this is somewhat this is a kind of dialogue which has been told by the character of the story. Yes. Our today's story is about lion and the kids. Yes, so let me start reading it. Ben and Jenny were running in their school's hallway. Unfortunately, they were caught by Principal Stan. They were sent to his office where they had a long talk. As punishment, Ben and Jenny had to write an essay on why they should not run in the hallway. Meanwhile, in the city zoo, Drew, the lion, was thinking about freedom. He had stayed behind closed doors all his life. How would it be if I was free to wander wherever I wanted? He wondered. Okay. So while reading, if you come across any words for which you don't know the meaning, you have to underline it or highlight it with any color. Then try to find out the meaning of those words, write it in a notebook, and try to make sentences, and while talking, try to implement those words in your talks. Yes. So here we have two words, wonder and wonder. Both have same pronunciation, but then the spelling is wrong. So when we say wander, wonder means roaming from one place to another, and when we say wondered, wonder means thinking in our mind. Yes, so let me read this once again for you. Meanwhile, in the city zoo, Drew, the lion, was thinking about freedom. He had stayed behind closed doors all his life. How would it be if I was free to wander wherever I wanted? He wondered. The doorkeeper opened the door to his cage and gave Drew food and water. Luckily for Drew, his phone rang at the same time. The doorkeeper ran outside to answer the phone and forgot to close the gate. Drew immediately went out. The air smelled fresher outside the cage. He decided to take a quick stroll, but he quickly wolfed down his lunch before starting his adventure. People would run and scream as soon as they saw Drew. These people smile when they see me in my cage. They even click selfies with me. Why are they scared when I am roaming around? He wondered. So can you see these sentences are inside quotation marks? So these are the things which was told by the tiger. Yes, sorry, lion. So here what he is saying, these people smile when they see me in my cage. They even click selfies with me. Why are they scared when I am roaming around? He wondered. All the walking around made Drew thirsty. He found a fountain inside a school and decided to drop in for a sip. Yes, the same school which Ben and Jenny attended. After he finished drinking water, Drew felt sleepy. He wanted a shady spot to take a nap. He found Ben and Jenny, who were writing their essay. Hey kids, called out Drew, the lion. Do you know where I can find a shady spot? Ben and Jenny wondered if they should finish their essay or run. But they had read in their textbooks that lions couldn't climb trees. So they quickly ran to a tree and climbed up a high branch. The tree had a nice shade, just the kind of spot Drew was looking for. He immediately curled up and slept off. When Ben and Jenny were sure the lion was asleep, they ran to Principal Stan's office and told him everything. Principal Stan called the zoo and sent men to bring the lion back to the zoo. When Drew opened his eyes, he saw that some people from the zoo were standing near him. Drew smiled. He was going to get a ride back home. It was time for dinner. Yes. So if you think that your fluency is not that clear, you can go through this story once again. If you find any words which you for which you don't know the meaning, highlight them, then write the meanings. What are the meanings of those? Try to frame your own sentences with them, and then you try to implement them as well. Like, I wonder why my friend said like this. In this way you have to frame your own sentences, and after reading, just make sure not to forget writing the summary of this story. So whichever story you are reading, after that try to write the summary. The summary means you have to write only the things which you understood after reading the story. So after reading the story, write the summary, and even you can explain it to somebody in your own mother tongue first, and then you can explain the same story to yourself or maybe somebody in English. So this will help you a lot to improve your spoken English. Yes, so this is how we are going to see in a step by step manner that how we are going to improve our fluency. This is only a small story for a day that we have done, but actually, every day you have to read something. Every day you have to focus, you have to reflect on what you read. What were the words for which you didn't know the meaning? What were the words for which you did not know the pronunciation? And then you have to implement those to improve yourself. Apart from this, you also have to listen to something in English, like podcasts or audio books. There are so many of these available in our internet nowadays. So try to avail all these facilities and improve yourself. And then whenever you are listening, it will help you to think in English. But this is not going to happen in 1 or 2 days. It should keep means whatever you are doing, it should be in a continuous manner. That means you should be consistent. So after a month's time, you might find yourself that your mind is thinking in English. Yes. And also try to speak to somebody in English. If you are not able to get anybody, try to talk to yourself, or also you can go to some mentor who can help you to talk in English. If you are doing some mistakes, they can highlight the mistakes and give feedback to you. And this is how we are going to improve our English. Yes, so for today only we have got this much. And like tomorrow we are going to start with the grammatical part. And later on again, we will keep on doing such things where you will come to know how to speak in English correctly. Yes. And also you will find various English movies. So it's not like you will just watch the movie and you will not focus on the language which they are using. You have to focus on the language and you also have to reflect on it. That is when you will be able to understand and you will be able to grab the knowledge from there. Yes, so in your mind you have to keep, yes, I have to do something here, I have to learn how they are speaking. So the moment you think like this, you will definitely just check on how they are speaking, how they are pronouncing each and every word, how like when they are using these words, and how their grammar is, everything you will reflect on. Yes. So thank you for today. Here I am ending my class. Thank you.